Guys, this will be another quick video of my Axial EXO. Now, I showed this a little bit in a previous video, but I thought I'd take a little bit more in-depth view of what I've done here. First of all, this is an EXO kit. They are no longer available, so if you've missed out on that, the best thing I can tell you is to look on eBay, and hopefully you'll find someone with an unbuilt brand new kit like I did. 3 years ago I had an Axial EXO, and of course they have their weak points. I went through and upgraded that thing little by little and made it, I got it where I wanted it to be. It handled amazing. It handles like an 8 scale buggy, has the photorealism of a scale rig, and I was running a Mama Monster Pro and Mama Max Pro, excuse me, and a 2400 Castle motor in it on 4S. And anyway, I sold it like a dummy, and ever since then I've pined over wanting another one. I've come across this kit on eBay, and it had not been assembled. I jumped on it, and I've built it from the ground up exactly the way I had the previous one. Different color, but everything else is the same. First off, as you can see, there is a, let's get in the light here. There is a Gpm aluminum front gearbox. That's Losi SCTE shocks with hot racing caps. I have Traxxas slash 4x4 turnbuckles. That's a Gpm steering rack in there. Those are Gpm knuckles and hubs. Believe it or not, that sway bar is actually from an SCTE as well, and it works perfectly with the aluminum gearbox. The reason I say that, the plastic one, the tabs aren't strong enough to hold the sway bar in place, but the aluminum one is. And of course, in the rear, I did the same thing, but aluminum gearbox. I have Gpm Rear Hubs, Traxxas links. Those are Gpm, I guess you call that a rear shock tower. I'm not sure, but it's not really a shock tower. It's more of a link tower. Forgot the actual term for it. That's a Gpm shock tower up front. If you can see that, it's kind of hard. You can't take a body off of an EXO. I have Gpm front and rear chassis braces, Gpm motor mount. I have a Leopard 2200 brushless motor in there. That is an 8 scale rated motor. And you know, I actually spoke out of turn on my last video. I said I had a Dynamite Fuse 130 amp ESC. I actually have a Hobby Wing 120 amp SC8 in there, which is a very comparable. In fact, I don't know for sure, but I think they're the same ESC with a different case. But anyway, on top of that, as you can see on eBay, I picked up a aluminum top roof plate. Let me go and take this panel off so you can see inside here a little better. Currently there's a 3S battery. Nothing worth mentioning there, but it's just a Chinese HRB 3S battery. I think it's got a 50C outburst RC rating, so burst rating. So it's a potent little 3-cell. I've had a number of them, and I've had zero problems with them. That's STRC rear shock mount. Actually, that's a modification. It's more of a chassis brace when you order it. You can mount it to the outside of the cage and shave off a little on the end and make a shock bracket. This relocates the shock position from this location back here, which gives you a more up and down shock location, and it actually improves the handling quite a bit. I can't remember which forum I was reading. I think it might have been RC Crawler. that gave me the idea of doing that, and it's definitely a great one. I would like to show you that, of course, everyone who has an EXO has to utilize the cool light buckets. I did the same thing. Of course, the same thing in the rear. Got your red LEDs back there. Oh, T-bone rear bumper and skid. Let's turn this back off so we don't have the racket. In the front, I didn't like the T-bone front bumper, but I wanted some protection coming off of jumps in the front end, so I took a T-bone bumper and I cut it off and just made a skid. That way you still get to rock the cool front end of the EXO without damage to the front end if you come off too hard of hit a landing. Now on the bottom I've put some what is that, carbon fiber vinyl wrap, I think that's what it's called, and I just cut it to size and put it on the bottom just to protect the metal chassis. Ever so often when I get a few scratches, I just peel it off and put a new piece on, and that keeps the chassis from getting all beat up. I know it's overkill, but I guess that's what I'm good for. Anyway, I think I've went over everything. I do have these Gpm toe blocks. Right now I'm still running the stock aluminum pressed aluminum toe blocks right now. I didn't use these in the build because they were red, and it bugged me that it didn't match the rest of the aluminum. Well, recently I de-anodized them, because I didn't know how to do that when I built the kit. But anyway, I de-anodized them, so now I get to tear this thing down and put them in one day. I guess that's worth mentioning. If you have an EXO, buy you some Traxxas 4x4 wheel nuts. They're serrated and they hold the wheel on much better. And of course you may notice that these are Traxxas, I think they're the soft compound BF Goodrich tires, and those are low C wheels from the XXX SCT, the rear. I put them all the way around. It actually gives the car a little bit wider stance, and you can't deny that it looks cool. It's definitely got a scale look to it. Kind of an anodized aluminum look, but it's plastic. Anyway, just thought I'd share my EXO. This one hasn't been beat on too hard, as you can tell, but I can tell you that this setup is bulletproof. The EXO I had 3 years ago, I put it through the works, and I jumped it on an 8-scale buggy track, bashed it in my yard. It held up great. A lot of people complain about the difficulty in getting inside and getting to the electronics and everything, but if you build it durable the first time, the only thing you have to do is change the battery. And on occasion, you do have to take that cage off and clean it. But to me, the coolness of this buggy far outweighs the complications in working on it. Anyway, have a good day, YouTube.